Two things we need to know about surds. Basically, a surd is an irrational number in the form of a root. The rules, we've got the square root of a times b is the same as the square root of a times the square root of b. And we've got the square root of a divided by b is the same as the square root of a divided by the square root of b. We're going to use these two rules. We're going to see how they're going to get put together. We'll do an example. We'll look at the square root of 75. Now 75 we can represent as the square root of 25 times 3. One of our rules that's taught us is the same as the square root of 25 times by the square root of 3, used in that first rule. That makes it a little bit easier to represent because we know what the square root of 25 is. That's just 5 times the square root of 3. Normally when we're talking in maths, we don't bother to write the times sign when we're doing algebra. We end up with 5 root 3. That tells us that the square root of 75 equals 5 root 3. See that again? We'll do the square root of 12. We'll represent 12 as 4 times 3. Our first rule told us that was the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. That's the same as 2 times the square root of 3, which we will just write as 2 root 3. So that tells us the square root of 12 is the same as 2 root 3. Looking at the division bit, we'll consider the square root of 27 divided by the square root of 3. That's the same as the square root of 27 divided by 3. We know 27 divided by 3 is just 9. So the square root of 9 we know is just 3. So square root of 27 divided by square root of 3 equals 3.